You know what time it is. It's Stephen King time, baby. Y'all ready for some Castle Rock Radio? Yeah. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Castle Rock Radio. I am Max Booth.
And I am Lori Michelle.
And this is a Stephen King podcast. A podcast where we read something, or sometimes watch something that Stephen King has written, or has his name attached to in some capability, and we talk about it. We, if there's opportunity to crack a joke, we'll crack that joke. It's not really a review podcast, more of a...
Let's make fun of everything podcast.
I don't know what you call this podcast. It's I think we decided to do one time, and then we haven't stopped, except that's a lie, because we stopped for several months. This is the first episode we've done since July, I think.
It's been a long time.
But to be fair, I was making a movie.
To be fair, we watched a movie to podcast about and then forgot about it.
We did watch The Children of the Corn. I don't know which
4
one.
or 5,
yeah,
20.
One of them. It was really bad. I have 3 pages of notes written about it, but then we kept putting it off, and now the notes make no sense to me. Maybe one day we'll rewatch it again.
No, don't make me do that again.
We're gonna have to.
Don't make me do that.
But I was not joking a few minutes ago. If you're thinking, what? You made a movie? How? I alert the press. You may alert the press. You can write your congressman, but this is true. My novella, We Need to Do Something, was recently adapted into a movie.
Say it isn't so.
I mean, it is so.
Oh, okay.
I would not lie about this.
Is that why you were gone?
It was why I was gone from Texas throughout almost all the month of October.
You were?
I was in Michigan. I
no
think
way.
is how you say it. And yeah, I was making a movie. I wrote it. It's not available
Yet.
anytime soon. We're in post-production now. But hey, you can go buy the book and read the book at perpetualpublishing.com. It's called We Need to Do Something. Buy it directly from us. I will sign it. We even have the soon-to-be a major motion picture thing on the cover now.
I know, it's very exciting.
It's really exciting. But enough about me, and more about Stephen Edwin King. The last time we talked to you guys, we were in the deep thick of it of Stephen Edwin King's The Stand.
No way, Jose.
And today, if you will pay attention to the title of the episode, which I imagine you've read already, we are reading 2 more chapters of The Stand. Now, why only 2 chapters? Because it makes up like 82 pages of the book.
Yeah, they were long chapters.
What chapters are they?
They were chapters 43 and 44.
Out of how many chapters?
5,000.
I don't believe you.
Oh, come on.
77. You will not even close.
I was not.
I am glad I am not relying on you to keep
What's
notes.
crazy is we're like over halfway chapter-wise, but like only like a third of the way page-wise.
Let's see, after we finished these 2 chapters, we will now on page 481 out of like 1,200.
So that would be about a third.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to get Paul Tremblay to back that up, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm no mathematician. You're no mathematician.
I have a math degree. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, but do you teach math?
No, I don't.
There's a reason for that.
I teach my son math right now.
Well.
I don't know. I understand what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. So The Stand is what we were talking about. By the way, did you guys feel this? Listen.
Fancy.
That's not me masturbating this time. This is a brand new edition of The Stand that I bought. That I quite like. Barnes & Noble released they call it a leather-bound edition, but this doesn't feel leather to me at all.
It's leatherish.
I guess it's a leatherish edition.
Leatherish. It's naga hide.
How would you describe this hardback I'm holding?
I don't know. It's like a neon orange with it's like embossed with
Embossed. I like
Embossed,
that
do you
word.
like that word? With like yellow and black ink. It's kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
And the sides of the pages are all gold.
It
It's
has
very
one of
nice.
those ribbon book molds that the Holy Bible has.
Yeah, and I like the pages that they've used for like to bind the book together and the front and the back. That's kind of like some sort of weird wallpaper, but it's like biohazard wallpaper. It's really cool.
Yeah. I like it. It's also, again, the uncut version that we were reading, and I am regretting choosing. Listen, we read 80 pages over the last week and a half, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And it's mostly just dream sequences.
It's a
Old
lot.
people talking about dreams they had. If someone went into this book and cut out every single dream, The Stand would become a novella.
It seems that way. The first half would cease to exist.
So, chapter 43, we followed Nick meeting a new killer tool, a main killer tool to the plot of Stephen King's The Stand. And that is, I don't know his name. Tommy?
Tom Cullen.
Yeah, why no one calls him Tommy?
I don't know. Nobody calls him Tommy.
Yeah, it's just Tom.
Tom.
Tommy is a short for Tom. Although that doesn't make any sense.
No, it's not. It's just a nickname for Tom.
Yeah.
Which is both short for Thomas.
God damn it, Thomas. You still listening to this, Thomas?
We hope so.
You're the only listener we have, and we are really grateful that you listen. What was I talking? Oh yeah, we meet Tom, who is from the jump. Is really clear he has some sort of a mental disability. He is
right.
He's slow. He can't read or write. He's slow to catch on to most things. The only thing he knows how to spell is moon.
Right, but he thinks everything is spelled moon.
Right, so like if I was walking down the street and I saw the moon, I would say, oh, it's a M-O-O-N, the moon. But also, if I was walking down the street and I saw, I don't know,
A dachshund.
something that was not the moon, I would go, M-O-O-N, the moon. That spells... Not the moon. Dachshund, yes. I had not thought this out well at all.
No, it's okay.
You ever walk down the street and you see something that is not the moon?
Like a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so take that life experience you have and apply it to this situation. You should know what I'm talking about. How does he meet Tom? I forget.
Well, he had fallen off the bike or had an accident with a bike. And, Tom was lying in the middle of the road.
Yeah,
and he was
thought
trying
he
to.
was drunk, right?
Right.
No,
he thought he was dead. And so he crashes his bike, and so...
Trying to avoid his body?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run over a body on a bicycle.
Have you ever done it?
I have not.
Don't knock it until you try it.
Have you?
I believe, a motto of a dual company. If I was selling dual... Do you think they thought a dual salesman?
Oh my god.
I mean, right off the bat, you see they don't need a door.
My god, there's a house with no door. Let me go.
I mean, I would go to tents, I guess. Campgrounds.
They don't need doors either.
I used to live in a place that I think they had a door, but if so, it was like nailed shut.
Okay.
When I first moved to Texas, that guy's house.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm talking.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say his name, but the front door was like welded shut.
I don't
What was
know.
up with that?
That whole house was like condemned zone.
That house could have used a door salesman.
It could have. I don't even know if that house is still standing.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they knocked it down.
Knock it till you try it.
Okay.
What? Tom. Tom is a man who Nick thinks is drunk. He is wrong. Fuck me in the face. Tom is a man Nick thinks is dead, but is in fact just really drunk.
He's very drunk. Well, he's been told not to touch alcohol before.
Because it's poison, which is correct.
It is. But now that there's nobody there to tell him to stop, he decided to try it.
It is pretty amusing seeing like everybody in this town either dead or they've fled to die elsewhere, and Tom is like, okay, now is my time to shine and drink all of the booze in the universe. And that's what he's been doing.
And
which,
there you
I
go.
mean, to be honest, which one of us would not be doing the same thing put into this situation?
I don't know if I would.
What would you be doing?
I don't know.
Just fucking slurping up Diet Coke fountain drinks?
Maybe so. What would happen I mean, think about it.
I'm thinking. Go ahead.
I mean, first off, if there's no electricity, the fountain drinks won't work.
What do you mean?
Well, don't you need electricity for the thing to push through the carbon dioxide?
I know what you're saying, but what do you mean?
And then eventually we'd run out of Diet Coke syrup.
That is true. So what would you do?
Carbonated water.
What do you mean?
Water with carbonation in it.
I'm talking about Diet Coke, yo.
Yes, I know.
There's no water in Coke.
Oh, okay.
It's Coke.
Yes, dear.
It's Diet Coke. It's two different elements. You have H2O and you have Dr. Coke.
Dr. Coke?
Hi, I'm Dr. Coke!
Is that a new invention?
I mean, we just saw Penguin Random House buy up Simon and Schuster.
Simon and Schuster.
They bought both of them. Why not begin to monopolize the soda industry? Maybe it already is. Maybe Coke owns it all by now.
Coke owns Dr. Pepper already.
So why not come out with a Dr. Coke?
Because it's Dr. Pepper. Why would you want a Dr. Coke?
I mean, sometimes...
How many doctors do you need?
Sometimes I like a second opinion.
That's when you act... What's that one?
Mr. Pibb?
No, there's like...
I like some Mr. Pibb.
Our local store has a Dr. something or other.
What?
One of the Dr. Pepper knockoff at the grocery store. It's Dr. something.
Dr. Salt?
No. Dr. Mrs. Dash.
Anyway, Jesus Christ. This is why we haven't done a podcast since July. She's scheduled drugs.
I have not. Unless Diet Coke is a drug.
And the whole time, Tom just is talking nonstop. And obviously, Nick only knows what he's saying when he's reading his lips. But Tom is saying something about how what he thinks has happened is Jesus has come along to collect everybody, like some type of a rapturing.
Right. And he thinks a lot of other people have just fled to Kansas City because they wanted to get out of town.
Yeah, like, what does he think? Like, why do they think they left him behind? Or what's this whole thing going on?
I don't know. He just...
Maybe he doesn't think about it.
He may not.
I don't know. But, like, there's some sentence in this book from Nick's point of view where he realizes Tom's idea of Jesus is like Santa Claus in reverse, which I am convinced is some type of sex move. Have you ever done a reveal Santa Claus?
I can't say I've done a Santa Claus in normal position.
Oh, wow. You have not lived. Anyway, they're riding the bike. They both have bikes. Does he have to train Tom?
Well, he's concerned that Tom might not be able to ride a bike, but he realizes that if he rides like a small bike, he'll be okay.
Side note, the two chapters we're going to be talking about, there's so much focus on why little people can ride bicycles, little motorcycles.
Right.
And it's like, come the fuck on. We're going to get more into this, but I don't need to know if someone can ride a bike. Just say they can ride it, and that's good with me.
Yes.
But yes, he goes on trying to find, like, a plane bike, one that isn't too fancy for Tom.
Yeah, that's not too big or doesn't have any gears or anything.
Yeah, so they're riding, and of course, Nick is deaf, so he doesn't hear that there's a fucking storm going on right now.
I mean, it just starts pouring down rain.
You think you'd feel it, though.
You would think. Well, and he kind of does at one point, but... Like, all of a sudden, Tom gets off the bike and starts running towards this barn. And Nick is like, what the hell is he doing?
Uh-huh.
So he goes chasing after him. And they get into this barn.
Just as a tornado comes passing
through.
Speaking of tornadoes, now, I recently made a movie.
Okay, Max.
You could buy a copy of the book that the movie was based on at perpetualpublishing.com. It's called We Need to Do Something, and it's about a tornado.
Are you done with your pitch?
It's not a pitch.
Are you done with your commercial?
The movie was made based on a book I wrote.
Okay,
I
Max.
also wrote the screenplay, and it's done. So, moving on. They survive. There's some damage done. I think the bikes are fine.
The bikes are fine, but it's like everything else around them is bad. But while they're in this barn...
Don't they find, like, dead bodies?
There's some dead bodies, like, caught in the storm cellar.
Mm-hmm.
And they both have a feeling like there's something else in there with them. And that's, supposed to be the dark man.
Randall Flagg.
Yes.
But nothing happens, right?
It's like he comes chasing after them for a point, but it's like not really.
What
I
a
don't
villain.
know.
Do you think he's just been hiding in this fucking building
Yeah,
for
he's
weeks?
like, you know what? I'm just going to hang out here.
I don't know. Does he can't have the ability to transport, though. Otherwise, he wouldn't just be walking down the road all the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if you could transport, I would never walk again.
If he's so supernatural, why does he have to rely on physical transport?
Yeah, well, I mean, some supernatural things can't transport.
I suppose.
I mean, look at leprechauns. Can they?
I don't know. I don't know anything about leprechauns.
Yeah, I realized this was a bad example because I also maybe they can. Do they ride rainbows like Silfields?
I don't know.
Like is a rainbow a wave?
Maybe so.
And what else is supernatural?
I
Tom Cruise. He runs, so you'll.
And he jumps from cliffside to cliffside.
He does. So I guess sometimes supernatural entities can use feet. Was that the question?
I don't know.
Who posed this question? We now go to July 10th, and we meet a woman.
Yes.
In the stand. Pretty impressive.
Right. Well, both Tom and Nick found some apples that they had been eating.
Evidently, Tom ate like 50 apples.
He ate a lot of apples, and they weren't really quite ripe, so it's giving him stomach aches.
Listen, if you eat too many apples that'll even in perfect shape, you are going to poop. Have you never eaten fruit?
I have eaten fruit, thank you very much.
Apple?
I probably did, yes.
Yeah, it checks out.
But his stomach is like really upset, so Nick goes into a pharmacy thinking maybe he can convince him to take some like kaopectate or Pepto-Bismol.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
Kaopectate.
What is that?
It's a stomach medicine.
No, it's not.
It is.
Sounds like a fucking, you just killed me or something. Why'd you throw salt in my face after you said
Poof.
Yeah, he goes in because he has the apple shits, is what they'll call in the biz.
Yes.
He goes into the pharmacy.
In the biz, none. In this book.
In the biz, none?
Biz, none.
What? He goes into a pharmacy, the second pharmacy scene of this chapter. Really creative, Stephen King.
Are there no other stores besides pharmacies?
Not in the decade this takes place.
Oh, okay.
That's all they had. It was just one drugstore.
I see. The Rexall.
What? Stop making things up.
I'm not.
It's called Walgreens. They go into... He does. Tom's outside.
Right.
Nick's inside. He sees what he thinks is a mannequin.
Yes.
Then goes... Instead of realizing this isn't a mannequin, but in fact a human being, this is how his brain processes this. He looks at this woman who's clearly not a mannequin, looks away, and thinks, wait a second, I've never seen a mannequin in a drugstore, and turns back. I feel like I would notice immediately that wasn't a mannequin.
I would think so.
And also, I've seen mannequins in drugstores. They have on, like, tactile coats.
How many drugstores have you been into?
I don't know. 2 at least. But still, come on, man. Especially since you only rely on sight.
Yeah, you would think.
Wouldn't know.
The difference between skin and plastic.
Wait a minute. So if you went into a shopping mall, is he just constantly confused?
I don't know.
Is he constantly walking up to someone, seeing if they can help him? Oh, wait a second. No, this is a, well, I don't know what mannequins are made of. This is plastic. I've seen some metal mannequins.
They're really into hard rock.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, insult porno music now because I do not know what you just said. You talk.
Yeah, all of a sudden she walks up to him and she kisses him.
Did they talk before that though, right?
I don't know if there's any talking going on or all of a sudden he's like horny and they're having sex.
All of a sudden, he could have been horny before. He just didn't talk about it.
Well, that's true.
So yeah, they'll listen talk before they bone. He's convinced that she's a mannequin, and she's convinced he's a ghost. And the fact that he won't say anything makes her suspect that he is also still a ghost.
Yes, well.
And eventually she realizes, oh wait, no, you can't talk because you're mute. Then she says, well, that's okay. At least you're not bad looking. And she says, my name's Julie. And been some little talking. And she realizes he can read lips.
Which is always handy.
She talks about how her mom and dad died 2 days ago. And she's been so lonely. And then she says, hey, let's make it. Which is a phrase I haven't heard since grade school. And that was referring to spaghetti portraits. Macaroni portraits. Spaghetti and macaroni.
Wow, you went to the fancy school. You used both spaghetti and macaroni.
Do you want me to bring up the fact that you waste macaroni every day?
You leave my macaroni.
You have boxes of macaroni noodles in this house without cheese. Because you buy the boxes just for the cheese.
I do.
And we do nothing with all these noodles. What are we supposed to do with them? I think we have to make portraits.
I can pull them out later if you want.
Okay. We can make it. Yeah, she says, hey, let's make it. And then Nick's like, well, I could come. So they have coitus.
Yes.
They screw.
Right there on the pharmacy floor.
Make love. They have sex in the pharmacy.
Yes.
They fill a prescription.
In more ways than
now,
one.
when I say fill a prescription, I am talking about sex. And also medicine.
Could be.
So they have sex.
Okay, Max.
And they go outside. They introduce Julie to Tom to Julie. And Julie... oh, yeah, they have the Pepto-Bismol.
There, the pink medicine.
Yeah, the pink medicine.
Right.
How do you say that?
Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, that's it. I don't say that real too often. I forgot how to say it.
Well, would you go around just saying Pepto-Bismol normally?
I do find that medicine quite delicious.
Ew.
I think it has a good taste to it.
That's all right.
Makes me think of bubble gum.
I will accept that.
Okay. Anyway, he's trying to get Tom to drink it because he has apple issues, as we already mentioned in the podcast. Please go back if you forgot. And Julie thinks it will be really funny if she keeps telling Tom it's poison and not to drink it, which, to be fair, is really funny. So Nick, showing his true colors, randomly smacks Julie in the face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here he is. He's trying to convince this kid to...
Oh, yes. Please continue justifying domestic abuse. I'm
not going to.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
I mean, she's being a complete bitch about the whole thing. I know, which doesn't justify anything. But...
Okay, please continue. Do you want me to help you dig this grave?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've already dug it.
Jesus Christ. She is being a jerk about it. Don't know if the smacking is justified.
No, probably not.
What happens? He just kind of tells Julie to scram then?
Yeah, he says, we're not taking you with us. You get away from us.
Well, he doesn't say anything.
Well, that's true, because he's new.
I got you, Nick.
Yes.
Got you. She leaves. Someone shoots at them. We assume it's Julie, but we don't see who's shooting at them.
Yeah.
They continue fleeing on bicycles, and then that night they have dreams.
Surprised. I'm shocked by this revelation.
I know you don't expect a dream in a book by the Stephen King.
By the Stephen King.
The Stephen Kings. But there are some dreams in this at the end of this chapter. And it ends the next day. They get picked up by a man in a pickup truck.
I believe so, because the guy's going to take him in the back of the pickup truck, and they're like, thank goodness we don't have to walk anymore.
He says, holy Christ on a kale sale. Am I glad to see you boys? I guess I am. He answers his own question. Climb up Pin Hill and let's see where we're going. And that was how Nick and Tom met. Ralph Bretnell.
Very exciting.
Who's that? I don't know.
We don't know yet.
I do know that we're 400 plus pages into this book, and we're still just adding main characters.
It's very exciting.
So let's go on to the next chapter. We'll be adding more main characters.
Yay!
Chapter 44.
It's 44.
Now, this is our favorite boy, Mr. Lawrence.
Underwood.
Yeah, that's his name. I forgot. I don't know why
I'm
saying his name. That's not it. My note just says that he falls and hits his head. Dreams. Do you know what I'm talking about, Phil?
No idea. I think he's like really starving to death, isn't he?
He foully hit his head.
Yeah, I think so.
I've only read this yesterday, so my memory is not great. It's not important. Those 2 pages telling us that his motorcycle is dead and how it bit to dust and how he kept trying to make it survive, but then he abandoned it.
Well, he was scared of riding it, and he was riding it too slow, so it was burning up. And
listen, this channel fucking sucks.
It kind of does.
I don't know if this is just a case of it being the uncut edition, but this chapter is fucking long, and there's so much needless shit in it. I was spilled out of my mind reading it. We have 2 pages talking about this guy's motorcycle and how it died, and then he sleeps and dreams and thinks about dreams he had throughout the whole chapter. And the only interesting thing going on is, like, in the background, there's a woman and a boy watching him and following him.
Right. Not in the dream, in actual life. Or in book life.
Okay, so I don't know why I have a note saying to read this paragraph, but I'm going to have you read it.
Okie dokie.
So it's this one that says another hand. So I'll know once you read it.
Okay. Another hand appeared and caressed his shoulder. The boy stopped immediately. What did he stop?
What is happening?
I don't know.
Is he dreaming again? God damn it, Lily, wake up.
There's a boy. Okay, first off, there's a boy.
There's a boy.
And the boy forced his way through. He was naked except for his shorts, brandishing a butcher knife.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I think he's fallen asleep at this point, and we kind of pan away to focus on this mysterious woman and boy who has been following Lily.
Another hand appeared and caressed his shoulder. The boy stopped immediately. The woman came out. She was tall and imposing, but seemed not to move the bushes at all. Her hair was a thick, luxuriant black, streaked with thick blazes of the purest white. Attractive, startling hair. It was twisted into a cable that hung over one shoulder and trailed away only as it reached the swell of her breast. When you looked at this woman, you first noticed how tall she was, and then your eyes would be dragged away to that hair, and you would consider it, and you would think how you could almost feel its rough yet oily texture with your eyes.
I'm hot.
Very exciting.
Oh, yeah.
And if you were a man, you would find yourself wondering what she would look like with that hair unpinned, freed, spread over a pillow in a spill of moonlight.
Come on,
you would wonder what she would be like in bed. That's what that means. But she had never taken a man into herself. She was pure. She was waiting. There had been dreams. Once in college, there had been the Ouija board.
Oh, yes, that's why. Read that sentence again.
Once in college, there had been the Ouija board. And she wondered again if this man might be the one.
What the fuck does that last sentence mean?
I don't know.
Did she fuck a Ouija board?
That's what I'm wondering here.
I mean, every movie and stuff, there's always once in college I had a eventual sexual experience.
Right. Maybe she did with a Ouija board.
Well, but all this says is once in college there had been the Ouija board. What does that mean?
I don't know.
What the fuck does that mean? If you've ever fucked a Ouija board, please write in to castlerockcast@gmail.com.
Yes, we want to know. Yes, it is.
I've not looked at it in months. I apologize if your pressing questions have gone unanswered. So yeah, I guess you need to read that whole paragraph, but maybe you did for the punchline to kick in.
Yeah.
Because that comes out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, it's like, what?
She was waiting. There had been dreams. Once in college, there had been the Ouija board.
Yeah,
and she wondered again that this man might be the... What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you do that?
I don't know. The planchette?
Must be.
I would think that would be painful.
I don't know. Again, write in if you've made love to, if you filled the prescription.
Or if you know how to make love to a Ouija board, we'd be interested in that too.
And if you would like us to fuck the Ouija board, please pledge to Patreon.
We're not fucking Ouija board.
.com/PMM Publishing. If we make $700 a month, that will we'll film it.
That is not going to be the thing for $700.
We will film it. I have another section in my notes where I said, read this paragraph. So let's just skip ahead. The woman's name, by the way, is Nadine.
Right.
And the boy's name that we know of is Joe.
Right.
Now, fill the audience in on how Nadine and Joe got associated.
Well, Joe is kind of like...
He's, 10?
Around 10-ish. He doesn't speak. He's kind of like... He reminded me of somebody like in Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
I mean, he just talks with grunts. And,
like a brute.
Yeah, he doesn't really say anything. He just carries this butcher knife around. He doesn't wear any clothes but underwear. I guess it's a good thing he's wearing underwear.
It's a good thing they're following Lily.
It's a good thing they're following Larry Underwear. Nadine is like an old school teacher. Well, she's not an old school teacher. She's a school teacher.
She goes around paddling kids.
But she's just kind of like taken to Joe. She thinks she's responsible for him. And I think any teacher would feel that way. So.
Well, still, yeah. So, like, that's really all the info we get on them. We're just following Lily because he's the only human they've seen in a while, except for, like, one guy who they killed.
The one guy came by that was, like, shooting, had a whole bunch of guns or something,
yes.
So they were scared of him. But the thing is Joe is frightened of everybody, so Nadine wants to come forward to Larry and say, hey, we're here, but Joe doesn't want anything to do with that, so that's why they're kind of following him from a distance.
Now, I'm going to read a section of The Stand by Stephen King. You know, the book we've been talking about this whole time.
Wow.
I think Lily is in the process of sleeping on a pilch at the specific scene, and they will following him again. The little house is on the left, and she crossed to the lawns, which will now growing into fields. The grass, heavy with dew and smelling sweet, came all the way to her shins. It made her think of a time she had run with a boy through grass like this, under a moon that had been full, instead of waning like this one was. There had been a hot, sweet ball of excitement in her little belly, and she had been very conscious of her breasts as sexual things, full and ripe, and standing out for her chest. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever been conscious of your breasts as sexual things?
No.
Have they ever stood?
If my boobs stood, I'd be a little worried.
When you are feeling aroused, do you feel it in your lower belly?
I can't say that's where I feel it.
But have you ever fucked a Ouija board?
No, see, there, that's what it is. Maybe not.
What is Stephen King talking about? Why has Tabitha not left him? Jesus Christ. This book is just one goddamn strange sentence after another that makes no sense.
It's pretty screwed up.
Ah, yes, I am writing about a woman, so I need to make sure I remind the audience that she has boobies.
Boobs!
Tabs! I'm writing about breasts! Get in here! He must call her Tabs, right?
I would assume so.
Because he has to keep tabs on them.
Har.
Do you think they drink Tab?
I hope not, because that's like the worst soda in the world.
Do you think when Stephen King writes a book, he clicks Tab instead of indent?
If he does,
in trouble.
His formatter is going to be pissed at him.
Well, that's all the Tab jokes I have. What else is going on? Oh, yeah, they get to an ocean. What ocean is this?
Atlantic. It's in Maine.
Well, it's in many places.
I understand that, but they are in Maine.
You go and talk.
I don't want to talk.
This is why we don't do this podcast. Stephen King, nope. Lily gets to the Atlantic Ocean according to you.
Yes.
And he's like, water. And then Joe, this little boy, just begins chasing after him with a knife.
Right.
And what does he do? He just like kicks him in the face or something?
Yeah, he gets the knife out of his hand and he stands on his arm for a while.
Yeah, but as he's running, he like gives him a karate kick.
Yeah,
I love any time in a book or movie where someone hits a child.
He kicks him in the gut or something.
It's really amusing. He has him pinned to the ground, and Nadine comes running out like, no, don't do it. Don't hurt him. So they get to talking. They get filled in on what's going on. She tells him how Joe is really protective of Nadine, and he doesn't want anyone to get too close to her. And Lily's like, well, hey, babe, you seem pretty cool, but why don't we ditch this kid and just go by ourselves?
Right.
Such a Lily thing to say.
It is.
I mean, to be honest, kids suck, and they should leave him. We have to bring this up, though. Wait, let's see what's on this page before I do that.
Max has lots of pages written down here.
All right, we'll get into that in a second. Is this boy Joe Chinese?
don't know. I mean, Stephen King keeps talking about his slanted eyes.
Anytime we get descriptions of Joe from Lily's point of view, he can't stop commenting on Joe's strange eyes. At one point, he calls them Chinese eyes.
Right, so...
What the fuck is going on with these eyes? He is obsessed with them.
I don't know. I don't know if he just, like, squints at Larry a lot. Like, you know how you look at somebody with that look?
I don't know.
Or
but he's
if
trying
he's
to say...
really got some Oriental blood in him. I don't know.
But Stephen King really feels it necessary to continuously bring it up to the point that it becomes distracting. Like, what point are you trying to make?
Yeah, I
exactly,
don't know.
Stephen Edwin King. And then we get to a different paragraph about eyes. I am very confused about and have numerous questions and concerns. I'll let you read this. How
Oh,
about
great.
that? Read from this to just this sentence.
Okay.
Just this one sentence.
Well, should we explain what's going on in
Please,
this?
be my
Okay,
guest.
so they found a guitar in one of these houses that they, like, ransacked to get food.
Yeah.
And so Larry, of course, brought the guitar with him. And Nadine says, "Oh, please, would you play us something?" So he plays a song, and it kind of gets to Joe. I mean, he's very excited by this music. So, anyway... The boy's open, delighted grin lit those eyes up, made them into something, Larry realized, that would be apt to make the muscles in any young girl's thighs loosen a little.
What does that mean? This boy is 10 years old.
He shouldn't be loosening anybody's thighs.
Why is that a sentence that made it into this book?
I don't
Why
know.
is that a sentence that made it into any book?
Why didn't he just say he's got super gorgeous eyes? I mean...
You know what? This kid's gonna fuck one day.
Yeah, exactly.
This kid should be fucking little kids right now.
Of course.
It's really odd. It's like that same thing. It's like a way more graphic way of saying... Like, I hate when people say this about kids. Like, that kid's gonna have lots of girlfriends someday. Yeah. It's like, okay, you want me to go your daughter and say, haha, your kid's gonna be a slut one day.
Yeah, I don't know.
But also, come on. It's even strange to make it, like, specifying a physical attribute of a child.
Yeah.
And saying, yeah, that kid, it's gonna make some children wet. And now I'm on the list.
Yes, you are.
Again, I just got off. Oh, fuck. Now I'm on to the list. Anyway, I had to bring that up because people say this is one of Stephen King's best books, and I want to know exactly what list they might be on. Because so far I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all. But maybe it's maybe that line was removed in the edited version, and Stephen King was like, how will they know how sexy his eyes are? We have to add it back in. Oh, fucking hell. Speaking of sexual boys, they continue to track someplace, and the boy gets ahead of them. And when they find him again, he is sitting on some truck reading a Playboy that he found in town with a visible erection.
Yes, that's very important to know. It couldn't just, be looking at a Playboy.
Well, how would I know the kid was chilling on if he didn't have an erection? When I read a Stephen King book, I need to know how horny each child is. Otherwise, I'm lost.
And this is why we can't have nice things.
Needful things. No joke, though. Just that's the thing he wrote.
Yes.
They find the Bellum sign.
Right, that Harold and Fran had left. And they get very excited. And they're like, well, let's go follow the directions. And that's when Larry says, we really shouldn't be just walking or riding bicycles. We really should have some sort of motorized vehicle.
Cue in like a fucking, 50 fucking pages?
I don't know. It was a long time.
Probably not 50 pages.
It seemed that way about him training her how to ride a motorcycle.
And I'm just wondering where the closest gun shop is so I can blow my brains out.
Well, you are in Texas. It's probably down the street.
It's just McDonald's.
Walmart.
I don't know. It's really... tedious.
It was extraordinarily tedious.
We really could have skipped this whole thing. It would have been fine. I mean, we're skipping it mostly. I mean, we're not going to go into detail about this. They trained to ride a motorcycle, and then she did.
It's exciting.
Yeah. Also, when they were looking at the sign that they wrote on the bond, they saw that Fran and Harold had wrote the date. And Lily's like, it's 2 weeks ago to the day. Who's keeping track of the date?
I don't know. I don't even know what the date it is today.
And we have cell phones.
I have no idea what today is. Yeah.
I don't even know what month it is.
I'm pretty sure it's November.
I don't know. I just wondered how they were keeping track of the date. Mm-hmm. Oh, I should say that like he keeps finding all these different messages and like evidence that Harold has been doing things.
He's got like he can tell that Harold has a thing for Franny.
That too, but I'm talking about like how he finds that how he did the gas with the motorcycles.
Right.
Because he's leaving behind like this trail of candy wrapples.
Right.
And he begins like growing like a fondness for this guy, imagining he's like a middle-aged dude who doesn't know much about books.
Right.
And he's really fit and muscular.
Yeah, little does he know.
So as they're pumping up the motorcycles, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, with gas.
Those really odd scene. Again, a really odd sexual scene. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, I'll read it to you.
Cool. Thanks.
Yada, yada, yada. How do you explain this setup?
Well, it's, the gas is in the ground, and he needs to siphon it up with a hose of some sort.
Yeah.
And he finds a hose that obviously is in the trash, so it must be left over from what Harold had left.
Okay. He saw that she was blushing and thought he knew why. He began to slip the length of rebel hose into the hole in the cement and suddenly realized that what he was doing could easily be interpreted as a symbolic and rather crude bit of dumb show. He looked up at her sharply. She turned away quickly, but not before he had seen how intently she was watching what he was doing and the high color in her cheeks. Listen, I've been turned on by many inanimate objects.
I don't think siphoning gas out of a...
What I was going to say was, yeah, this checks out. It was such a fucking childish train of thought that King has with this. It's like, you know what? They know what she might find hot? A hose in a hole.
Yeah.
Hey, Tabs! Let's get you wet or what?
If I stick this hose in this hole...
Do your thighs loosen? Who's Lucy Swan?
It's the person they meet in Stovington.
They meet somebody else? Jesus. I've already blocked who this is. Does she know anything?
Not yet.
Tell me. I don't know anything.
I don't know. They go to Stovington where Stu Redmond had escaped from.
Some facility.
Yeah, the facility. The disease facility. And of course it's all empty. But Lucy Swan is there. Yeah. We don't know how she's there. Or anything.
I don't know much, much about her.
I don't think we do know much about her. But they find another sign from Harold saying, nothing here, we've gone this way, and this way.
Yeah.
So, and he goes, I love you, Harold. And they go following Harold's directions.
And that's how it ends.
It is.
I think.
I'm pretty sure.
Let's look.
But we can hope.
Yeah, that's it. They see, yeah. And they also see with this new sign that they have other folks have joined Fran.
Right, because Stu is there.
Stu, Glenn, and Bateman, which is Glenn's dog.
Yes.
That guy who paints on the side of the road.
Glenn,
right?
yes.
Okay. That's those chapters. We've done a new episode. Wow.
Hooray for us.
I didn't think it would happen. I thought that was the end of the show.
And here we are. We resurrected it.
Do you feel good about it?
Well... I don't know. I'm thinking about a Ouija board now. Or a hose. I'm not sure which. What if there was a Ouija board and a hose?
I think we're getting into erotic fan fiction.
Ooh.
Slash that, my internet fans. Yada, yada, yada. What am I skipping over, little Dan?
I don't know. What are you yachting?
I don't do this show often, okay? What do we say now? Thanks for listening. Subscribe. Yes. You have subscribed. Well, you've at least downloaded the episode, I assume. What do you do now?
They could
rate and review us.
You could rate and review us. You could sponsor us on Patreon.
You could sponsor us. What are we sponsoring? We're not walking a race.
They could, but if for $1, they get every issue of Dark Moon Digest from now on.
Every dollar donated feeds one still living child in this household.
Or a wiener dog, one of the two.
Every $2 donated goes to the erotic Ouija board. Yeah, did you say the URL already?
I have not.
Okay, do that.
Which URL do you want me to give?
Anyone you want.
Okay. Well, the Patreon one is patreon.com/PMM Publishing. Our books for sale is at perpetualpublishing.com. You can buy a cool t-shirt at tpublic.com/user/PMM Publishing. We're on Facebook at Castle Rock Radio, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
We have a Facebook group.
Listen, if you want to just Google us. Google us.
Facebook group
send us money.
Is for fans of Stephen King podcasts and dick jokes.
Send us
Twitter is Castle Rock Cast. And of course, you can always email us at castlerockcast@gmail.com.
If that's the right email.
It is.
I'm not convinced.
It's pretty. I'm pretty positive.
And goodbye.
And now, by request from Bay Ridge, Larry Underwood and Baby, Can You Dig Your Man? Well, baby, can you?